In the high, rough mountains, the Pashtun people live by old rules, older than any kingdom. They call it Pashtunwali. Here, being honorable is everything, and being free is like the air they breathe. Big kingdoms have come and gone like the Greeks, Mongols and Mughals, but the Pashtun spirit stays strong. From these mountains came Khushal Khan Khattak, a leader, a fighter, and the voice of his people. He was born to lead, to fight, and to make people feel strong. Khushal's mind was as sharp as his sword, and his poems were as strong as his battles. In the 1600s, the Mughal kingdom tried to control the Pashtuns, but they didn't get how much the Pashtuns loved being free. Khushal was the leader of the Khattak tribe, a sign of who the Pashtuns were and how they stuck together. His life was full of wars, people turning against him and being put in jail, but he never gave up. He fought not for power, but for respect, and for his people to live by their own ways. Khushal asked everyone to stick together, knowing that Pashtuns were strong when they stood as one. He became like the falcon of the mountains, his call for freedom heard for many years. His story isn't just old history, it's the living spirit of the Pashtun people. The mountains remember his call, and so do his children's children. Khushal Khan Khattak, the falcon whose wings could never be cut. Khushal was born in 1613, near the Kabul River, the son of leader Shahbaz Khan Khattak. He was raised to be a leader, learning to ride horses, hunt, and fight from a young age. The mountains made him a brave fighter, but he was more than just a person with a sword. Khushal loved the Pashto language, spending many hours with smart people and poets. He found strength in words, showing his pride and his hopes for his people. His father saw both the fighter and the poet in him, helping both sides grow. Khushal went with his father on Mughal army trips, learning how to fight wars firsthand. At 27, after his father died, the Mughal emperor made him a leader. The Mughals saw him as a strong friend, hoping he would help control the Pashtuns. For a while, Khushal worked well with them, bringing peace to his area, but his poet's heart watched and wondered. He saw how proud the Mughals were and how they didn't care about Pashtun ways. A storm grew inside him, the start of a fight, not just with swords but with words. The fighter was loyal, but the poet couldn't stay still. Khushal's two sides would soon change what happened to his people. His journey from a loyal leader to a fighting poet had started. The mountains were listening. Khushal's loyalty to the Mughals was tested when Aurangzeb became emperor. Aurangzeb didn't trust the Pashtuns, making them pay high taxes and not respecting their old ways. The shaky peace broke. Khushal couldn't just watch as his people's honor was stepped on. He spoke out against what was unfair, changing his loyalty from the emperor to his people. The Mughals saw him as a danger and set a trap for him. Khushal was put in jail for made-up reasons and sent in chains to Gwalior fort. He was in prison for over 2 years, and his anger and sadness turned into strong poems of fighting back. When he was let go, Khushal came home changed. No longer a servant but a sworn enemy of the kingdom. He asked all Pashtun tribes to join together and rise up against the cruel Mughal rule. The falcon, once in a cage, was now free and fierce. His call for war was heard across the mountains and valleys. Khushal's fight was not just for land, but for the spirit of his people. The Mughal ruler had made a strong enemy. The Pashtun fight for freedom had found its leader. The storm had broken. Khushal knew that swords alone couldn't beat the Mughals. The Pashtuns needed to stick together. He used his best weapon, poetry. Writing in Pashto, he talked to every farmer, shepherd and fighter. His poems praised the land, shamed those who betrayed them, and asked for everyone to unite. He reminded his people that their honor and shame were shared. His poems spread quickly, making people feel like they belonged to one nation. Around campfires and in villages, his words became the song of fighting back. Khushal's lines brought the tribes together, turning small fights into a real uprising. All Pashtuns, from Kandahar to Attock, are one in honor and in shame. With every poem, he built a feeling of being one nation. His pen gave the fight its heart. The Pashtuns were no longer just different groups, they were a nation. The poet's call could not be silenced. Khushal led by Pashtunwali, ancient rules of honor and unity. For him, honor meant bravery, fairness and truth. A man's worth is by his bravery, his standing is by his honor. He fought for a world where Pashtuns lived with respect and freedom. I am the falcon of the mountains, I cannot be tamed. Khushal's courage and fairness made him the leader his people needed. The falcon led by example, showing the way, not commanding it. Khushal Khan Khattak's memory lasts like the mountains he loved. He is remembered as both a fighter and the father of Pashto writing. Before him, Pashto was mostly spoken. He gave it power and importance. His thousands of poems about war, love and honor became the base of Pashtun culture. He gave his people a shared history and pride in who they were. His poems are still quoted, sung and studied today. Khushal's fight against the Mughals became a sign of fighting back for everyone who values freedom. He showed that bravery and belief can last longer than armies. His family kept his work going, shaping Pashtun society for many years. The fire he started never went out. It inspired future uprisings and leaders. Khushal set the stage for Pashtun nationalism. His name is carved in the heart of his people. The falcon's song still flies high. Khushal Khan Khattak's story is the story of the Pashtun soul. He showed what freedom, honor and love for his land and language were all about. A fighter poet, a fair leader, and a rebel for unity, he was the complete Pashtun. His bravery inspired a nation, and his poems still guide his people. In tough times, his poems remind Pashtuns of their proud past. He showed that true leadership comes from serving others and being respectful. Khushal's life is a lesson for everyone who cares about respect and freedom. He gave his people a voice, turning their hopes and struggles into words that will never die. As long as Pashto is spoken and the mountains stand, his name will be remembered. His spirit lives on in every Pashtun heart. He was their sword and their song. The falcon's memory is like his second life. Khushal Khan Khattak, a guiding light for many years.